Hey everybody, Bill Faeth from LIMO University with today's Q&A. Got a question from Brad. I can't remember the name of the city. It was just outside of Boston someplace. Brad is in the corporate side of the business, has 26 cars. And his question is Bill, hey, I saw your video last week about Facebook Live and what I should be doing personally with my Facebook page, but one of my office employees who's a millennial thinks that we should really be leveraging Twitter as opposed to just being on Facebook. So Brad, number one is, I think Steve Quay from Corporate Car put a great comment on the video I did last week about Facebook. You got to make a personal decision if you want to use your personal Facebook page for Facebook Live or for business promotion. And there's some people that have no problem with that. There's others that want to be extremely private. There's no right or wrong decision. And if you do use your personal page for business, there is going to be some people that you may lose from following you that actually have no desire to see you promote your business. Now, if you do that, you need to make sure that you're providing value and you're not just putting promotions and sales and stuff about your vehicles onto that page. Really, and that same premise applies with your business content, just like you would use the business content through your personal page. There is extreme advantages, as I talked about in last week's video, because the reach is so much greater on the personal side than from a business page, but I think you have to make that decision as an individual. Me, personally, I do both. And I think it's extremely valuable. I base all of my decisions based on data, analytics, and metrics. And I see that my personal reach on Facebook and even my personal reach on Twitter is much bigger than my company reach. So I've decided to go ahead and do both. I know I may lose a few people, but that's okay because it's actually going to benefit the growth of my business. Now, I just mentioned Twitter because you asked about that. I don't see a whole lot of value in Twitter for the corporate side of the business in regards to how much time it takes to manage and really what the reach is strictly for a customer acquisition. Because every decision that you're making in regards to your marketing, your sales, your investments into your business needs to be ROI driven, return on investment. I would much rather see you investing if you're trying to drive corporate business, leveraging LinkedIn as opposed to Twitter. Now, first step is that you need to build a company LinkedIn page and you need to populate it. It needs to be very professionally designed. You need to populate it with valuable content. But then the second step, and kind of something I've talked about for 4 or 5 years, but it's very highly underutilized, is LinkedIn groups. Now, here's the caveat about LinkedIn groups. Sure, they're powerful and they're targeted because you can target your local MPI, Meeting Professionals International Group, or ACTE, or private jet charter pilots. It's very, very niche, which is awesome because you're getting this captive audience that you can tailor your content into, and it will get viewed and consumed. But here is the issue with LinkedIn groups. You cannot just go in and spam and post and post and post inside of groups because every group has a moderator, and the moderator sets the rules for each individual LinkedIn group, and they have parameters on how often you can post, what type of posts you can put, that you have to really interact and engage a certain amount of times before you can actually post. So make sure if you're going to use LinkedIn groups that you know the exact rules and regulations of each specific group because they vary. So I would actually not invest a whole lot of time into Twitter, and I would put that Twitter effort into LinkedIn, especially for the corporate side of the business. Thanks for your question. If you guys have questions, go ahead and email me at bill@limogrowth.com or leave a comment on our Facebook page at facebook.com/LIMO University.